So this is my weird Theo Von Young Gravy looking beach bum dude, and he's got kind of an interesting year ahead of him. I wanted to see what it would be like trying to make 1,000,000 gold in a year without ever leaving the beach. And so to do that, I had to give myself a couple little things, one of which is this little tent, which allows me to sleep anywhere in the whole game. And I also gave myself a chest because without a chest, this is more of like an inventory management simulator than anything. And that is not exactly the most entertaining thing in the world. And so basically my only vendor is Willy because I can't access a shipping bin. So my only money can really come from fishing for the most part. So my main goals are to upgrade my rod as quickly as possible, at least for now. And after that, I will eventually try to transition completely into crab pots. And my whole run will basically revolve around the crab pot. Otherwise, I'm going to spend every single day for the next 112 days just fishing. And as fun as that sounds, I just don't think I'm going to do that. And so, yeah, we'll start out a little bit slow, just so you can get kind of an idea of like how long the fishing might take, or how brutal fishing is for 112 days straight. And we'll pick up the pace a little bit more after that. So these first day, I couldn't really do much else. I got as much fishing as I could done and got up to level 3, and I already have the crab pots, so it's a good start there. We can at least get a couple purchased from Willy hopefully pretty soon here, and maybe start building our own. We kind of have a weird situation with that because it's 1,500 gold for a crab pot. That only make you around 75, well, I keep saying gold, but you know what I mean, dollars. $75 a day, so it takes 20 days alone just to break even with crab pots, which is kind of not great. But the alternative is to build them, which I will need either copper or iron bars for, one of the two. And wood, which are both going to be pretty hard to come by, just because my only source for wood will be fishing and crab pots, taking the junk and converting it into wood via the recycling machine. So that's kind of the situation we're looking at right now, and it's a little bleak already. And this is kind of like, this is a full day of fishing. And you'll see here, I sped it up 8 times. Basically what every one of my days is going to look like until I get enough crab pots to fill the entire beach. It's not bad by any means. I don't mind fishing, but it is definitely it's an involving process. And it's kind of funny, you'd think I would get better at fishing as I do this, but I don't really. I stay about the same level pretty much the entire time. And so that was, 46 seconds of fishing there. And obviously it takes 8 times longer than that at the minimum, so it's kind of an idea of what we're looking at here. And that's how the little tent works right there. You just kind of hold down on it, and you eventually fall asleep. And so for the fishing bonuses, I ended up going with Trapper because I need to hopefully be able to craft the crab pots a little bit easier. And then eventually I will need to either make it so I don't have to put bait in the crab pots later on, or so that I don't get junk, one of the two. And it will probably be the bait one because I need the junk, which is a little bit obnoxious. And So that's the plan from where we're at now. We're already filling up our chest pretty aggressively. We have tons of treasure we're getting that we can't do anything with. We have an ancient seed already, which it would be awesome for most other runs, but not really in this case. And then, yeah, so we got our first crab pot. I don't expect a whole lot from it. It's probably going to be junk. But that's okay, because we need the junk just as much we need everything else. And so I will start skipping around a lot more. And so we're going to just right away jump into the next day. And you'll notice our days look kind of funky. We had to like skip to the second day to get Willie to come back in town. So our day count is off by 1 every single day. And I know that's kind of obnoxious, but what are you gonna do? It's just kind of the way it goes. So this is kind of my everyday thing now. It's fishing until I have enough money to buy 2 or 3 more crab pots every single day. And that's that. We'll slowly level up our fishing so our qualities will get better and we'll get more money every single day and hopefully be able to kind of snowball this into, you know, $1 million. Which I think it's totally doable just because you can make so much money by fishing alone. So I don't know, I'm optimistic. But I will say, if you've ever thought about doing this, or just fishing, or just crab pots, I would maybe encourage you to not do it. It's a task, I'll say. I get tired of fishing about 3 days in. And so, I don't know. It was more of a social or a scientific experiment than anything. But don't do it. Save yourself the fishing trouble and just have a nice little crop. Or animals, or dive into the caverns. One of those things. You'll have a much better time. I actually do really like the way this dude looks. That's probably my favorite part of this entire run. It's like kind of a weird southern beach vibe. He's got a little bit of a mullet going on, which I appreciate. But yeah, man, it's a heck of a thing doing even 8 days of fishing. We're already getting a little bit tired. So we'll probably go ahead and jump ahead into next week, because that's what we need to do. Except for one more thing. We did end up getting our level 9 fishing so far, which is pretty good. So we'll get level 10 in the next coming days. And that's when things will get a little bit better. And so a couple things happened. I had to give myself the furnace recipe. And so I've already fished up a lot of copper. So by fishing up copper, you trigger a cutscene with Clint. So I technically had to go back to the farm for 1 day just to get that recipe. And that's really all I had to do. That was like kind of funky behind the scenes. And I also gave myself a larger bag. I just was struggling a lot because inventory management is not very fun. So I gave myself an extra 12 slots. It's just better. It doesn't give me any more money. It doesn't really help me that much. It just prevents me from accessing a chest over and over again. I also bought the iridium rod, which is normally something I don't do because it's kind of pointless, but I really, really need it for some like newer goals I'm trying to attain. Basically what I need are treasure chests. And the best way to get treasure chests are with the treasure lure, which you can only equip on the iridium rod. So that's why I have it. Once I have furnaces going, I should be able to smelt gold bars, for actually crafting those lures, so I won't have to buy them from Willie. And then I should be able to up my treasure finding, I guess. And with the treasure chest, hopefully I'll get more copper and more wood, so I can, repair the bridge, get more space for crab pots, that kind of thing. It's basically all just necessary for making a more self-sustaining beach situation. Because right now this is just not working super well. I've already fished up tons of junk, as you can see. Like, my chests are overflowing with trash, really. Got some diamonds, I got, miscellaneous stuff. I wish I didn't have my tools in there because they just take up space, and I mostly don't need them. And yeah, other than that, like, the run is going exactly as expected. Lots of crab pots, mostly trash. I no longer need to add bait, which is really, really nice. I elected to do that because I need the junk. And if I chose no junk, I wouldn't be able to get wood, and I wouldn't be able to craft, like, any of the stuff I actually need. And I'm hoping that will pay off at some point. But I don't know, it's hard to say. Because trash, like, only can convert into a couple different items. You can get either cloth or wood, coal, and iron ore, I think, is maybe in most of them. And most of that is not that useful since I can't sell it. So, I don't know. This is kind of just a little quick check-in. And then we'll pop into a little further in the future. And so it's only a couple days later, but now we have our furnace going. We had enough copper and stone to actually build it. And so basically, like, this is our new situation. We stand here, smelt as we fish. And then, yeah, that's it. We just need wood and stone really right now. And we need gold bars for the lures because they're way too expensive to buy. And wood and stone are really the only things we need. So that's it. It's pretty rough right now, to be honest. We need, our next step is recycling, basically. Once we get recycling up and going, then we're in good shape. And so another couple days later, and we are in a little bit better of a spot. We got our recycling machine, quite a few more crab pots, and we can recycle a few pieces of trash every single day as we fish and as we smelt. So we're just going to kind of keep on keeping on and make our lures, deal with all our crab pots. All the crab pots you see on the right hand side here, or to the right of Willie's shop, are ones that we've crafted. And the crafting is not looking as promising as I thought it would, to say the least. We are not getting copper ore at all. And yeah, we also need 300 pieces of wood for the bridge. So we really need to open up that side for more crab pots. And so hopefully we can get that going. Also, here's like kind of an idea of what my day looks like, and we'll skip forward again. It takes forever to empty all the crab pots. I guess as a quick note, I am playing on the controller, so it's a little less smooth than normal if you're playing with like a mouse and keyboard. But I just like it more, so whatever. But yeah, so I don't know. We're just kind of plugging along. We got one more crab pot we were able to make. This is kind of our last day of spring. I went ahead and like calculated some general numbers as far as like how much we're making in spring. And our average was around 3,700 gold or dollars a day. And that's just from fishing. And we had some decent days where we got quite a bit more than that. But it's pretty rare. So yeah, we're about $3,800 every day. And then our crab pots, every day will technically go up by a little bit. On average, they go up by about $300 a day, $200 a day, depending on how many crab pots we buy. So it's not looking amazing as far as like financially, but we're getting there slowly. I mean, we can see we've caught, well, one sunfish is not a very good example, but the other fish we've caught, 280 herring already, over 100 flounder. It's a lot of fishing, which kind of goes without saying, but I don't know what I was expecting. I think I was expecting this, but I wasn't realizing like the actual magnitude of just casting over and over and over again. So that will be behind us pretty soon. So yeah, these are just like some general numbers so you can get an idea of like what we're looking at. I did fish up 3 Neptune's glaives, which is very frustrating because I never get them when I actually want them. And you can't throw them away. Something about that weapon, it doesn't let you just throw it in the trash. So I'm just stuck with them. And they're taking up 3 spots in my inventory. And so one spot for the trident, which is equally nice. So anyway, let's move on to the next day. And so our updates were going to be a lot less frequent now, to say the least. Like right now, like we're in a good spot with our crab pots. We really are, because it's like the more we get, the less we have to fish. So I'm pretty psyched about that. I keep saying we're in a good spot, and it's like kind of a lie, but I think it's probably a coping mechanism. We've also only crafted 4 crab pots this entire time. So, yeah. So it was a total waste of time to get trash. We should have done the other option where you don't get any trash at all from the crab pots, because that was pretty much all in service of creating more crab pots, and it just has not paid off even in the slightest. So not great. So yeah, I don't know, here we are. We have 3, 4, 5 more every single day, and we still don't have our bridge opened up. We're getting closer on wood, but it's not looking great. And we're not quite at the end of summer. Oh my god, this looks crazy. We're not quite at the end of summer, but this is just kind of what it looks like every single day. Once again, sped up 8 times, so it takes quite a bit longer than this. But I've completely given up fishing at this point, and I only do crab pots. So my days go by a ton faster, which is really good. And I did also decide I should probably catch the legendary fish just for fun. And so we did nab that up really quick, a couple days before the end of summer, on the guaranteed rain day there. It took forever, I should note, as this is sped up 2 times, but I just kept losing it at like the last second, which is beyond frustrating. But anyway, we are into fall. And so that means we are completely done, we're moving into the end of fall, which means we're completely done with all of our crab pots. They're completely full, I guess I should say. And this is what our farm ends up looking like. It's not the most beautiful thing in the world necessarily, but here's how much money I made after just crab pots for the entire month of fall. Month of fall, it sounds weird, but it's right. And needless to say, we had a ton of junk, but also a ton of fish, which is nice. And we ended up with over 300,000 gold, which now we have nothing to do with. There's just nothing to do with it. We've earned over 800,000 so far, and most of that has just gone right back into crab pots. I guess 500,000 of it has, which is kind of insane. And yeah, man, that's not great. That's kind of a bad use of funds, but it was all we could do. And so just for a couple little things to look at, we've already had over 1,600 cockles, 1,400 shrimp and mussels, 1,500 oysters, and yeah, 560 lobsters, which is the rarest of all of them. But I don't know, all of it's like, we're kind of in the coast mode, right? Fall was like a huge break compared to summer where all we had to do was empty crab pots every day. And so yeah, that's where we're at. It turns out living on the beach is actually surprisingly fruitful. And the only thing I kind of forgot about that threw a wrench into things was the winter festival. And I was really hoping I'd be able to buy like tree seeds or something like that to kind of give myself a little extra things to do, or be able to sell my junk to these like vendors. But I couldn't. It just didn't happen. They never sold any seeds I could utilize. And ultimately, there were just 3 days that I couldn't do anything on the beach. So technically on my 100th day, I was pretty far from my goal. I still have all my stuff left over from the previous winters. Oh, I did try and buy an orange sapling to plant on the beach, but it doesn't grow. So anyway, yeah, I don't know, kind of an anticlimactic end, but this is where I ended up on the end of the year. I still have 300,000 in pocket, and so I should have another 300,000 or so. A little bit less just because of the winter festival there. But yeah, we totally hit our goal, even though we completely stopped fishing, which is actually kind of nice. I didn't really mess with relationships too much. I don't even know why I looked at that. But I mean, it ended up working out okay. Got some little frog statues. A bunch of random junk that we can't really do a whole lot with. 6 ancient seeds is kind of nice. But yeah, that's it. Beach worked out. We hit 1 million, and I would never do that again. And I would never recommend it to literally anybody else. So just don't do it. See you later.